Oh yeah, it's day 75 of the 100 Days of Narration Challenge. Welcome. Yes, day 75 of the 100 Days of Narration Challenge, and we are in the middle of biography/autobiography week. This book today is obviously going to be biography because it's about a long-dead figure of English literature, and that would be Shakespeare by Bill Bryson. And it's just Shakespeare. No, there's a further subtitle. Shakespeare, the World as a Stage. Yes. Now, who is Shakespeare? Do I really need to explain that? Maybe I do. Well, let's read the back, shall we? The blurb. World-famous writer Bill Bryson brings us this brilliantly readable biography of our greatest dramatist and poet William Shakespeare. Examining centuries of myths, half-truths, and downright lies, Bill Bryson tries to make sense of the man behind the masterpieces. In a journey through the streets of Shakespeare's time, he brings to life the hubbub of Elizabethan. I just realized I don't know how to say that particular description. Elizabethan. That actually makes sense. Elizabethan. Let's try that from the beginning. In a journey through the streets of Shakespeare's time, he brings to life the hubbub of Elizabethan England and a host of characters along the way. Bryson celebrates the glory of Shakespeare's language, his ceaseless inventiveness that gave us hundreds of now indispensable phrases, images, and words, and delights in details of his fallouts and folios, poetries, and plays. It's just poetry, not poetries. Stitching together information from a vast array of sources, he has created a unique celebration of one of the most significant and least understood figures in history. Not to mention a classic piece of Bryson. Right. Okay. So, Bill Bryson. Let's see. Is he an Australian author? I don't know. I just get the feeling that he's an Australian author. Maybe I am wrong, or what have you. But in any case, let's have a look. Let's flip to wherever. Oh, yes, I was in the middle of reading this, and then I stopped because, like most things, I just stop reading stuff, or don't even start reading stuff. That's how things are. Okay, we'll start from page 110. It starts in the middle of a sentence. Okay, going back one page I'll start from page 109. I'll just start from the last paragraph, so it'll flip nicely onto the next one. Okay. And there was never a better time to delve for pleasure in language than the 16th century, when novelty blew through English like a spring breeze. Some 12,000 words, a phenomenal number, entered the language between 1500 and 1650, about half of them still in use today. And old words were employed in ways that had not been tried before. Nouns became verbs and adverbs. Adverbs became I know how to say that word. Adjectives. Just doesn't feel right saying it that way. Adjectives. It feels like adjectives. Jeez. That's a weird word for me to get stuck on. Adjectives. Adjectives. Oh my god, I sound like a complete idiot now. I don't know how to say the word adjective. See, if I don't think about it, I can say it, but as soon as I think about it, adjectives, adjectives, adjectives. How does anybody say that properly? It's like and then your tongue is on the top of your mouth, and then you have to go to juk, adjuk. That's impossible, or hard, at least hard. Nouns became verbs and adverbs. Adverbs became adjectives. Expressions that could not grammatically have existed before, such as breathing one's last and backing a horse, both coined by Shakespeare, were suddenly popping up everywhere. Double superlatives and double negatives, the most unkindest cut of all, troubled no one and allowed an additional degree of emphasis that has since been lost. Really? The most unkindest cut of all. I understood that, so it must be used somewhere. Spelling was luxuriantly. Spelling was luxuriantly variable, too. You could write St. Paul's or St. Oh, dear Lord, that's not going to be possible for me to relay in just the words alone. It's St. Paul's, an S-T, St. Paul's, P-A-U-L, apostrophe S, or St. Paul's, with the S-T, and then P-O-W-L-E-S, apostrophe at the end. That's a weird spelling of Paul's. And no one seemed to notice or care. Grace Church Street was sometimes Gracious Street, sometimes Grass Street. Stratford upon Avon, is that? I know London has a lot of strange names which aren't actually pronounced the way that they look. So is it Stratford upon Avon, or is it just like English? That's not an exaggeration. There are just some weird things in the English, the proper English from England does with their proper names. But let's just read the actual word. Stratford upon Avon became at times Stratford upon Haven. People would be extraordinarily casual even with their own names. Christopher Marlowe signed himself Christopher Marley, and Christopher is spelled Christopher. Wow, that's okay. In his one surviving autograph, and was registered at Cambridge as Christopher Marland. Elsewhere, he is recorded as Morley and Merlin, among others. In like manner, Philip Henslow, the impresario, in like manner, Philip Henslow, the impresario, indifferently wrote Henslow or Hensley when signing his own name, and others made it, oh dear Lord, Hinchley, Hinchlow, Hensklow, Hinchlows, that's Hinchlows as in Hynchlowes, Inclow, Hinchlow, and now another version of Hinchlow, Hinchloe, and half a dozen more. More than 80 spellings of Shakespeare's name have been recorded, from Shapere to Shaxbird. It is perhaps worth noting that the spelling we all use is not one endorsed by the Oxford English Dictionary, which prefers Shakespeare, Shakspere. So quite a few vowels missing there from the traditional spelling that we're all used to. Perhaps nothing speaks more eloquently of the variability of spelling in the age than the fact that a dictionary published in 1604, a table of alphabetical is spelled with 2 L's at the end. Oh dear Lord. A table alphabetical of hard words, spelled words 2 ways on the title page. Oh dear Lord. Pronunciations, too, were often very different from today's. We know from Shakespeare that knees, grease, grass, and grace all rhymed, at least more or less, and that he could pun reason with raisin and Rome with room. Although when I think of it, there are, especially the Brooklyn accent, room is pronounced rum. So, Rome, rum, and then maybe they could say Rome, rum, and then it'll be like rum, 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 rum. Rum, 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 rum. I don't know. I just find it fascinating. The accent just refuses a double O to a sound. Rum. Anyway. The first 100 or so lines of Venus and Adonis offer such striking rhyme pairs as, oh dear Lord, satiety, 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 S-A-T-I-E-T-Y, satiety, satiety. Wow, is the T in the middle a hard T or a soft T? I'm gonna go with so satiety and variety. Fast and haste, bone and gone, and treats and frets, swears and tears. That one still works, unless it's tears, swears and tears. Then not so much. Heat and get. Elsewhere, plague is rhymed with wage. Plague, wage, plage. Maybe it was pronounced plage back then. Grapes with mishaps. Wow, that's hard. So, graps. Calais with chalice. The French town was often spelled callous or callous with double L. No, they're both spelled double L, but one ends with an S and the other ends with a C-E. Calais with chalice. Calais with chalice. Whether or not it was necessary to pronounce all the letters in a word, such as the K's in night or K's in night and knee, was a hot issue. Shakespeare touches upon it comically in Love's Labour's Lost, when he has the tedious Holofernes attack those rackers of orthography. I don't know what that word means. When he has the tedious Holofernes attack those rackers of orthography, who would call calf calf, half half, neighbor neighbor, and nay ne. Wow, that's I don't even know where to begin explaining that, or how to explain that. Right. Much of the language Shakespeare used is lost to us now without external guidance. In an experiment in 2005, the Globe in London staged a production of Troilus and Cressida. I don't know that particular play. Troilus and Cressida in early modern English, or original pronunciation. The critic, John Lair, writing in The New Yorker, estimated that he could understand only about 30% of what was said. Even with modern pronunciations, meanings will often be missed. Few modern listeners would realize that in Henry V, when the French Princess Catherine mispronounces the English neck as nick, she has perpetuated a gross and, to a Shakespearean audience, hugely comical obscenity, though Shakespeare's language on the whole was actually quite clean, indeed almost prudish. Where Ben Jonson manured his plays, as it were, with frequent interjections of "turd in your teeth, shit on your head," and "I fart at thee." Charming. Turd in your teeth, turd in your teeth, turd in your teeth. Shit on your head, shit on your head. I fart at thee. I fart at thee. More Old English plays need that phrase, I fart at thee. Shakespeare's audiences had to be content with a very occasional "a pox under," "God's bread," and one, God damn it, turn the page, and one "whoreson jackanapes." Ooh, Why word? After 1606, profanities were subject to hefty fines, and so largely vanished. In many ways, the language Shakespeare used was quite modern. He never employed the old-fashioned seethe, but rather the racier, more modern seethe. Oh, seeth. He never employed the old-fashioned seeth. I thought, I was wondering, wait, we still use the word seethe, but rather it's a seeth. But rather the racier, more modern seethe, and much preferred spoke to spake, cleft to clave, and goes to goeth. The King James Bible, by contrast, opted for the older forms in each instance. In the same time, Shakespeare maintained a lifelong attachment to thou in preference to you, even though by the end of the 16th century, thou was quaint and dated. Ben Jonson used it hardly at all. He was also greatly attached to and remarkably unself-conscious about provincialisms. I don't know what that word is. Provincial, I understand, sort of. Provincialisms, colloquialism. It's really weird realizing that you know what the word is and you've seen it on a page and you can read and you can hear it out loud in your head, but when you actually say it, colloquialisms. That's really weird. I think I might be losing brain. I think I might be losing my brain. That's what's happening. I'm losing brain out of my ears. No! Anyway, let's read that from the beginning again. He was also greatly attached to and remarkably unself-conscious about provincialisms, many of which became established in English thanks to his influence, among them cranny, forefathers, and aggravate, but initially grated on the ears of sophisticates? One of the two. Colloquialism. Sorry, that word is just going to keep running through my mind until I say it right. Colloquialism. Damn it. I'm just going to have to hear someone else say it, and then I'll say it, and then I'll imitate them. He coined, or to be more carefully precise, made the first recorded use of 2,035 words, and interestingly, he indulged the practice from the very outset of his career. Titus Andronicus and Love's Labour's Lost, two of his earliest works, have 140 new words between them. Not everyone appreciated this creative impulse. When Robert Greene referred to him as being beautified by our feathers, he was mocking a Shakespeare neologism. How do I know how to pronounce that word, but not colloquialism? Ooh, almost got that one right. Colloquialism. Neologism. And now I can't say this word. It's like I replaced one word with the other word, and now I can't say it any words anymore. Neologism. Shakespeare's neologism in Beautified. Undaunted, Shakespeare accelerated the pace of it as his career proceeded. Accelerated the pace of his making up words as his career proceeded. In plays written during his most productive and inventive period, Macbeth, Hamlet, Lear, neologisms, and now remember how to say it again. Neologisms occur, and now forgotten. That's weird. Is that weird? It's slightly weird. Neologisms occur at the fairly astonishing rate of 1 every 2.5 lines. Hamlet alone gave the audience 600 words that, according to all evidence, they had never heard before. Among the words first found in Shakespeare are, here we go, abstemious, antipathy, critical, frugal, dwindle, extract, horrid, vast, hereditary, excellent, eventful, barefaced, assassination. I thought that was Arabic word. Assassination. Assassin. Well, maybe the assassin part is the Arabic part, and then he just added the nation at the end. Assassination, lonely, leapfrog, indistinguishable, well-read, zany, and countless others, including countless. Wow. Jeez. Where would we be without them? Well, abstemious. I don't know. I've never seen that word before. I've never seen it used anywhere. Abstemious. Neologism. Oh, man. This is really terrible. Okay, keep going. He was particularly prolific, as David Crystal points out, when it came to attaching prefixes to existing words to make new words that no one had thought of before. Unmask, unhand, unlock, untie, unveil. Oh God, no, I don't even know how to say that word anymore. And no fewer than 309 others in a similar vein. Consider how helplessly prolix the alternatives to any of these terms are, and you appreciate how much punch Shakespeare gave English. He produced such a torrent of new words and meanings that a good many, as Otto Jesperson once bemusedly observed, perhaps were not even clearly understood by the author himself. Certainly, many of them failed to take hold. Undeaf, untent, and unhappy as a verb. Unhappy as a state of mind, but unhappy as a verb. I am unhappy that you went there. Am I using unhappy as a verb there? Or, I don't know. Exsuffocate. Why can I say that word but not neologism? Neologism. Or colloquial. Oh my God, I said it right. And now I can never say it again. Colloquial. Oh my God, I said it a second time. Colloquial. That's how I say that word. Fuck. Oh God, I had a brain fart and I couldn't say the word colloquial. That's wow. Kids, this is what happens when you grow old. You start not remembering how to pronounce words. Next, you'll just find that you can't say the word water. Water. Damn it. Anyway, almost at the end of here. Unhappy as a verb, exsuffocate, betray, and insultment. Insultment were among those that were scarcely heard again, but a surprisingly large number did gain common currency, and about 800 are still used today, a very high proportion. As Crystal says, most modern authors, I imagine, would be delighted if they contributed even one lexeme to the future of the language. Well, I think The Simpsons actually has contributed quite a few words as well on their own, like embiggen and cromulent. It's a perfectly cromulent word. Oh God, I can't believe cromulent is an actual cromulent word now. I can't believe I just defined cromulent by saying cromulent. Anyway, his real gift, however, there's no however there, but I just feel that there should be a however there, however, was as a phrase maker. Shakespeare's language, says Stanley Wells, has a quality difficult to define of memorability that has caused many phrases to enter the common language. Among them, one fell swoop, vanish into thin air, bag and baggage, Play fast and loose, go down the primrose path, be in a pickle, budge an inch, the milk of human kindness. More sinned, turn the page, more sinned against than sinning. Oh, I'm near the end of the chapter. I might as well read the rest of this page then. More sinned against than sinning. Remembrance of things past, beggar all description. Cold comfort to thine own self be true. More in sorrow than in anger. The wish is father to the thought. Salad days? Salad days? I've never... What is a salad day? Is that like a something you remember fondly? Ah, yes, I remember those salad days of yesteryear. Yes. Like the scent of fresh melons. That doesn't sound right. I don't know. Flesh and blood, foul play, tower of strength, be cruel to be kind, blinking idiot, with bated breath, pomp and circumstance, foregone conclusion, and many others so repetitiously irresistible that we have debased them into cliches. He was so prolific that he could, in Hamlet, put two in a single sentence. Though I am native here and to the manner born, it is a custom more honored in the breach than the observance. If we take the Oxford Dictionary of Quotations as one guide, then Shakespeare produced roughly 1/10 of all the most quotable utterances written or spoken in English since its inception, a clearly remarkable proportion. Yet curiously, English was still struggling to gain respectability. Let's try that again. Yet curiously, English was still struggling to gain respectability. Latin was still the language of official documents and of serious works of literature and learning. Thomas More's Utopia, Francis Bacon's Novum Organum, and Isaac Newton's Principia. Wait, Latin doesn't have soft C sounds. So it's actually more Principia Mathematica. Principia. There's rules about that, isn't there? No, I'm pretty sure Latin doesn't have soft C's. It's just all hard C's, like sounds. So Principia Mathematica were all in Latin. The Bodleian Library in Oxford in 1605. Bodleian, Bodleian. That sounds Bodleian. The Bodleian Library in Oxford in 1605 possessed almost 6,000 books. Of these, just 36 were in English. Attachment to Latin was such that in 1568, when one Thomas Smith produced the first textbook on the English language, he wrote it in Latin. Yeah. Thanks in no small measure to the work of Shakespeare and his fellows, English was at last rising to preeminence. In the country of its creation. It is telling, observes Stanley Wells, that William Shakespeare's birth is recorded in Latin, but he dies in English as William Shakespeare, gentleman. Oh, that's a nice place to stop. Wow, been talking too so long, mostly because of all the little asides I've made. Colloquialism, colloquial. God, I'm so happy I've learned how to repronounce that word. Oh, God, that's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. Neologism. But that word is still going to be a bit of a trouble for me. Anyway, that was Shakespeare, The World as a Stage. I hope you enjoyed that particular reading. It's by Bill Bryson. I hope you enjoyed that reading of me being utterly terrible in the middle there. Join me tomorrow for the last day in... this was day 75. Tomorrow's day 76. Tomorrow's day 76, the 100 Days of Narration Challenge, and the last day of biography/autobiography week. So I hope you come back for that and join me as we go for last week. And after that, another mystery book challenge. All right. Hey, you seem like a cool, wonderful, and/or awesome individual with impeccable taste in voice actors. So why not follow me on Facebook or Twitter? You can keep up with the latest projects I'm in, or that my friends are in, or that you could be in, because I occasionally post links to open editions to various projects that require voice acting out there, or that nobody's in, but they're interesting projects nonetheless that you may also find interesting. Also, lots of random thoughts about whatever's on my mind at that particular moment. Usually it's about food or video games, or foodie video games. Anyway, you can follow me on Facebook at OmadonVA or Twitter at Omadon. Hope to see you there.